Here we go. Hopefully it's not too loud, and let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Bird.
Yeah, this one is from his retirement.
He was the most motivated player I ever saw.
Larry Bird is one of the biggest trash talkers ever.
Larry was.
This is really important because, like I said, I've learned about this years later, about how much he was a trash talker, but not in the way where he curses you out or pushes you or anything like that. But the fact that he could psychologically break you down as someone who defends, like if you're a player defending him, it's incredible. And you can hear that from multiple people. You're going to hear that soon.
Basketball genius. A mask of a hick from Finch Lick out as his calling card. And if you believe that for 1 second, you were going to get beaten.
Uh-oh. Boom.
First layup for two.
What a great fake. Well, behind the back. The skill that Bird had where he can just move the ball from one side into the other was amazing. It is so great to see it. And if I flip on your normal everyday NBA play with like the greatest player of all time that is currently playing, okay? Or some of the greats, maybe not the greatest player. One of the great players, I don't know, I'm not following NBA right now, but I won't see that. And that is a lot of real smarts when it comes to a small forward like Bird, who could technically play a power forward, but he didn't because he had McHale. And that ball control with his hands, it's not just the shooting, it's not just the, court vision, and you can see everybody on the floor as if you were a point guard and a skilled shooting guard. You also had that fake, that movement with his hands that just completely destroyed people.
Was under 10 seconds. We'll walk out, and Larry said, I'm going to get it right here, Ed, and I'm going to shoot it in your face.
Over two people,
He
bang.
hit it and looked at me, and he was like, damn. I didn't even leave nothing on the clock.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is Xavier McDaniel. Bird just shot over his face with the buzzer, everything. 2 seconds were left, and the trash talk was like, damn, I didn't want to have anything on the clock left for you guys. Insane. You have to actually shoot. You have another second or two to try and get that game back. And you're psychologically broken already. Phenomenal.
That's the first three-point contest, he says. I'm just looking to see who's going to finish second.
This is a tie for the money.
What a legendary competition that was. He threw it. And by the way, he was down. He was not, when he came to that last rack, he was not winning, but he kept shooting and shooting and shooting. And that last ball was like, it's for the money. When he left it, the ball wasn't going in, and his finger was already, I'm winning this thing.
Just absolutely unbelievable. Dominique guarded him, Cliff guarded him, Antoine guarded him, I guarded him. Nothing worked.
Bird with 8 seconds. Bird on the drive. The runner.
Boom.
Again. Larry Bird is just unconscious.
Boom. He called it. He said rainbow trainer's lap.
you will notice the the bench of the Atlanta Hawks is falling down because they were like, I cannot believe this thing. I think he did 60 or something in this. And the most hilarious thing, and I'm not sure it's in this mixtape, but I've seen it on a different video. The next night, Mikhail was hot. And at one point, he's kind of like, okay, I'm going to sit on the bench. And Bird was like, what are you doing? You need to score, right? You need to score more. Just go at it. And Mikhail's like, no, we're done. We're winning. I don't need any more points. And I don't remember if it's Bird coming in the next game, which was this, Atlanta Hawks, and he shot one more than Mikhail, or was it the other way around? It was just hilarious.
And Bird falls into Joe O'Toole.
Guys
See?
at the end of the bench
See?
giving
See
each
the
other
bench?
foul. I mean, Bird is a bad man.
Bird has 60 points.
60.
He would do a head fake, or he would do this, and the guy would turn, and he would just fake the crap out of guys.
Boom. See that court awareness? He knew where everybody is, and he saw the passing lanes. Did you see it? Through 3 people to get that guy. I don't remember the name of that player.
Larry told all of us and the media, he said, tomorrow night's the last game of the trip. I'm going to play this one left-handed. And at the end of 3 quarters, the next night in Portland, he had 27 points left-handed.
The admitting goal of Bird is like, I'm just going to shoot it one-handed the next half or the next quarter. And he got like 20-something points. Yeesh. What a shot. What a clutch player.
His body was behind the basket, and he released that left-handed shot.
Caught his own rebound because he was all about the hustle. All about the hustle. Ainge got it.
Give them the lead. Bird for 3, but it won't count. It does not count.
And Larry just hit what would have been the game-winning shot, but KC called timeout. Larry came back to the bench, and he was a little upset.
He looks at the bench and says, hey guys, when I come back after timeout, I'm going to go right to the same spot, and I'm going to kick it in.
The Bulldogs by 1. Ainge to Bird. He gets a good shot in the...
If you didn't understand what just happened in that game, it's phenomenal and hilarious at the same time. Bird got the ball on the other half. Casey, the coach, was like, timeout, because there was nothing left on the clock, but he wanted to set up a play, basically for Bird. Bird got the shot off. It went in, but because they called the timeout, they waved that basket goodbye. Went to the bench. Casey was like trying to set up the play, and Bird was like, I'm going to get this ball again. I'm going to go to the same place, and I'm going to shoot it, and we're going to win, and it's going to be over. And he just got up and did it. And it's not the first time that he did it. I have something for that for the end of this video.
Boy, this is something else.
He would just flick it or tap it or bounce it to a teammate without even catching it.
Amazing passer.
Bird on the cut.
Oh, that was insanely great. Look at the hustle.
Bird to the other end. Behind his back, the dribble now fires and scores. He's going to slow it up. Goes over the head to Mikhail.
Amazing. And behind the basket.
Pass to double teaming Bird. Larry fake. Ball away.
Clutch.
that the Celtic fans, I think that most of the arena and the Detroit Pistons forgot that Larry Bird hadn't quit.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ.
That game was really important. I don't remember if it was a playoff game or a regular side game, but it kind of had a lot of meaning towards the standings if it was a regular or one of the playoff games. This is an away for the Detroit Pistons. Like I said, I don't remember everything, but the fact that they basically won the game. The Pistons basically won the game. They were up 1. They basically won the game. The out was theirs. It was their ball. No timeouts, no nothing. At least none of them that were called. And just Bird saved that game from oblivion. From oblivion with just one play. The only other player that I remember actually watching making a play like this was Reggie Miller, who played under the tutelage of Bird. And he got nine points in 7 seconds on the clock. Something crazy. The injury game.
Brought us down, and he's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. He was hurt bad. He was hurt real bad.
And on top of all of these accomplishments and all these things he does, Larry Bird plays hurt.
Yeah, one of the reasons why he didn't play as long as he did was because of that hustle, because he was just destroying his body to get a win. Eventually, he destroyed his body so much that it just failed him at the end. I think he had a major back injury, if I recall correctly. He went to Barcelona for the Dream Team, and he was really not in shape to actually play. And I'm not even sure he played the 92-93 season. I think he mostly sat it out. I remember pictures of him just not on the bench itself, but on the bench's side. But he wasn't sitting. He was actually laying with his stomach on the floor, and because that's the only way there's no strain on the back. Because when you're sitting, you do have to strain your back, and if you have a major back injury, that is a big no-no. It was not fun. It was not fun to watch the last 2-3 seasons of Bird. He was not there. It was really a shame.
The Indiana Pacers pick up their level of intensity. They smell it right now. They know the leader is not on the floor. Someone needs to step up now for Boston.
Here he comes.
And here comes Larry Bird.
I think he hurt his orbital, which is really bad.
Making his return from an apparent fracture of the right cheek.
Yeah, apparent fracture of the right cheek. Apparent. He didn't, but it was real bad. He came in and he just rescued them again from oblivion.
How many times does he try that spike through your heart with shots like that?
I can't believe they left him open, by the way.
It's been more than the statistical line when you talk about Larry Bird here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's more about the stats. It's less about the stats. It's more about the
They
stature.
have different personalities and different backgrounds, but their value system was identical.
I've watched this particular. I've watched not the entire series, but I've watched a documentary of that playoff season. I haven't seen it since. I've seen it like early '90s when I was a teenager, and it came out on the sports channel. I was really into sports back then. Really, really into sports back then. I've seen every single type of sports, everything. I loved the NBA. And like I said, that documentary just documented all that series game after game. And that game was so brutal. It was just brutal. And the referees just did not make any calls. Like, that call would have been like a player ejection from a game today. Even back then, it was rough. And they still just called it. And by the way, after that play, the Lakers were so mad, they lost the game because they were so out of sorts. It completely shattered their entire organization and their way of thinking. It's just got into their heads, and it was over. It was over. On the side note, I think they won the series 4-2, and I think they won it in Boston that year. But that game was brutal as hell. If I remember correctly, of course.
Finds an open bird, takes rampant. 1 second.
Ooh. Magic.
5 seconds to go.
The baby hook. That's a win. Yeah, that's when they won it at Boston. The time where people were rushing the field. Yeah, they can't do that anymore. But by the way, on the side note, they couldn't do it even back then, but they just did. And at a certain point, they just did not let anybody on the court. One of those games where I think Boston won, and it was apparently that they were going to win. I think they were up 5 or 7, and it was like 4 seconds left to play in the game, and the crowd was just rushing because it was the championship game. And they had to keep everybody out for the last 4, 6, 7 seconds or whatever it was left on the clock. And then they re-rushed the game. It was one of the earlier games. It's funny, but it's not funny because you fear for the players. Not even the opposition team. Your actual, like, your players. Yeah, it's funny.
Please welcome now Irvin Magic Johnson.
And this was actually great because when Bird retired, it was after they patched things up because Magic Johnson went to Larry Bird before they were set to like film a commercial for a shoe or whatever. I think it was Nike or Adidas, whatever it was. And Magic went to Indiana, and he went to eat at his Bird's mother's place, and Bird's mother said that Magic is her favorite player. But they really had a real friendship developing. But that was, I think it was after, it was like 88, and the Pistons were already were taking over. So it was after the rivalry was basically done. But they became real good friends. I'm not sure they're friends today, but I think they had a run where they were great friends. And in the 92 Olympics, they were like the old folks where Jordan was like the main dog. Yeah, it was quite a time. But this was really exciting. I actually watched this entire thing on the sports channel. It was really, really emotional to a guy like Larry Bird who had almost zero emotions.
greatest basketball player ever, but more important, a friend forever.
I dedicated my life to basketball, and I dedicated my life to the Boston Celtics. My basketball career is officially over, and I had a blast. But tonight I leave you and I say thank you, Boston. Good night.
Not sure if they retired his number. I'm pretty sure they did, but I don't know. All right, that was Larry Bird's Mixtape. To be honest, if he had a long career like LeBron, he would probably had LeBron's numbers.
Scrolling through the trash, can't believe my eyes. Worthless vids, man, no surprise. Stupid thumbnails, faces all deranged. Looking for gold, all I find is strange.